Welcome back. Spring break is just a few weeks away. The Biden administration announcing nearly $1 billion in grants from the infrastructure law for airports across the country. It includes $5 million for roof repairs at Milwaukee's Mitchell International, nearly $3.5 million for a major expansion at Appleton's airport, and $2.5 million in Madison to resurface the pavement, install 400 energy-efficient streetlights, and improve bus access.
Pete Buttigieg is the Department of Transportation Secretary. He joins us now. Secretary, welcome back to the show.
Good to be with you.
Secretary, is all of this money, nearly $1 billion in taxpayer money from the infrastructure law, going toward worthwhile projects?
Absolutely, and we got far more applications than we were able to say yes to, which demonstrates just how much of a need there is for these improvements. You know, when we're talking about the Appleton project, we know that there's a lot of growth in air traffic. It's why we thought it was important to support the adding of gates there so they can get to that 10-gate vision they have for the future. In Madison, I know Mayor Rhodes Conway well, and she's very focused on making sure everybody can have access to community resources, whether it's somebody who works at the airport or somebody traveling from there, which is why something that sounds as kind of everyday as pavement and bus access really matters. In the case of Milwaukee, this is coming on the heels of that funding you mentioned, $5 million to help with a roof. As any homeowner knows, delaying maintenance on a roof is definitely not a way to save money. It's only going to cost more if you allow it to deteriorate. So, you know, these are common sense projects that are going to make a big difference and are going to make for a better passenger experience while recognizing that airports, and you don't have to be the biggest airport in the country to be a very important economic engine for the area that it serves.
Airline safety is top of mind, especially as we head into spring break in a couple weeks. Coming off everything we saw with Boeing and the 737 MAX, what are your biggest safety concerns with the industry as we sit here today?
Well, we're certainly concerned with the safety culture at Boeing, which is why they are under a microscope right now from the FAA. We've got boots on the ground, an audit that's underway, and really everything is on the table in terms of the future of how quality assurance is managed and overseen at Boeing. We don't take for granted for a second all of the work that makes it the case that flying on an airplane is the safest way to travel in America. If we want to maintain that, we're going to have to keep working to have the manufacturers do their part and to make sure FAA is ready for the future as well, which is why the president's budget in front of Congress soon will reflect what we think is needed in order to have FAA be able to meet the growing demand.
Give me an example when you say everything is on the table.
Well, we need to look at the structure for how oversight works, how much of the inspections are done by government personnel versus the responsibilities that the manufacturer has to show that they're meeting the high standard that the FAA sets. Congress created the current framework. It has been used for years. I think it's due for a look, and the FAA administrator has said that we need to assess all of the different alternatives to make sure that we have 1,000% confidence in every single plane coming off that line.
What is your current assessment of the airline industry in the airlines themselves in general and their ability to handle what is going to be a big crowd for spring break?
Well, they've certainly responded to the pressure that we have put on them. I think that's part of how we got the results of last year's decade-long low in cancellations. They also need to show that they're ready to take good care of passengers when a delay or a cancellation does happen.
Department of Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, Secretary, like always, thank you so much for your time.
Same here. Good being with you. Take care.
Up next, he's in.